Ding 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 ding.
Fubble time.
Hey,
Hey.
I am Teresa Tomey,
And I am Patrick Ziegler.
and we are,
Fubble Entertainment.
and this is
Fubble time.
Yay! I'm so proud of you when you get that right. You're talented.
Well, you kind of beat it into me, so
I did. Hey, I'm nice about it. I'm gentle and loving.
yeah.
I am so excited about our guest today.
Is that the rhythm that we're going to do this in?
I think so. I think we should sing the entire show. No, that would be painful.
No, let her sing. She's the singer, man.
I was going to say, although I read her bio, she is a singer.
Yeah.
So I'm going to jump right in, right?
Go.
Because I want to spend as much time with this.
And we already got somebody coming in that says, Lawrence Darnell says, yes, she is amazing, which is fun.
You already know, Lawrence, what I'm about to tell you. This fabulous woman is a professional actor, writer, and producer. She has been in the biz for 34 years now. You may know her from small screen or large. She's been on both. She was the wisecracking grandma Nana on Mike and Molly for 6 years on CBS. Bravo. Now in syndication, playing in more than 32 countries daily. Good for you, Cleo.
I know, right? Good for her.
Good for you. She has been seen in The Hangover, Dreamgirls, Pineapple Express, The Life of David Gale, National Security, and Magnolia. Patrick's like, everybody knows her from Magnolia.
I love that.
Currently on Grey's Anatomy. I know her from Deadwood, too. So on Deadwood, I don't see that. She was in the movie and the show. They brought her back for the movie. Other TV shows, Shameless, Young Sheldon, Mom, CSI. I mean, this is one of those women that I know you have seen her.
A solid working actor.
Solid. And I saw her. Oh, she does have Deadwood on this bio. She has performed with so many people. Maybe we'll get a story or two out of her. She is in the movie Justine on Netflix right now. We're going to be talking about another Netflix project that she has coming up. She won the NAACP Theater Award for her one-woman show, Turning Points. Patrick and I saw her years ago, a few years back. She had started an open mic, kind of open performance in LA, which was fabulous, just celebrating and lifting people up. She has an enormous heart that brings her to work philanthropically. She has a couple of interests in the needs of children, especially. She's done a lot of work in that area. We're excited to talk to her today about her involvement with SLAM, and she is helping raise money today for Black Lives Matter, so we're going to talk to her about that. Yeah. And if you read her bio, she also says, and I have to read this because I just love it, at the end of her bio, this is a woman who knows who she is. Cleo King is one queen worth getting to know. So without that, let's bring the queen forward, Miss Cleo King. So excited to have you.
Yes, queen.
I love it. That's a great read. Teresa, you did a great job. I want to get to know that lady. Her resume is cute, honey, cute. And then to say a queen worth getting to know, hilarious. I said that, didn't I?
Yes, you did. And I'm like, I love you for that. I love that. You know, and that it speaks to who you are. I mean, your resume really reflects your exceptional talent, your heart. And I know that you know, Patrick knows you certainly better than I do. I know you know Mark. Yes. And so I just know that there's a heart in there the size of Texas. And when you marry that with the confidence of a queen, that's a winning combination. So I like that.
I love it. You know, when you have a last name King and you're a woman, you have to think queen. You know, automatically it comes to mind. But Yes, it's so wonderful to be here today, you
Oh
guys.
my
How
gosh. Well,
exciting to just be here. You know, during this time, I've been so excited to be at home. Like the first 3 months of the pandemic, right? I ate at home more in those 3 months than I did in the last 10 years of my life, right?
I
Because I
bet.
was the eat out queen. So now I have it down. I'm chopping spinach and mushrooms and onions every day. Like I got it. Like it's in everything. It's on my salad. It's in my eggs. It's on my. So after like 4 months, I'm wiped out. I'm like, this is not okay. Like, I'm like, and you know, when I heard people say that before in the 3 months, like they would say, I'm going stir crazy. I'm like, what is that? What? Girl, you gotta stay at home and be safe. You gotta be safe. So now I'm at that point of, oh, I gotta stay at home and be safe.
I
I'm
know.
tired of this. I'm tired of this. I don't want to be on I want my friends to come over now.
Yeah.
So that's where I am, but still filled with gratitude that we're here to tell the story.
Yeah.
You know, here to tell the story. I know a lot of people who have been sick, you know, a lot of people. So glad to be with you guys today.
We
Well-
are so thrilled to have you. And I agree with what you're saying. And it's interesting because Teresa and I had talked about doing this for so long. We were like, we should do a talk. And we were like, we were never in the same place long enough at the same time. Well, all of a sudden, because of COVID, we don't need to be in the same place at the same time. We have been doing this. We decided, let's just do it. And it's a blast. We're having so much fun and just talking to people in the industry. We talk to theater people. We talk to TV people and talk to local theater people and TV people. It's a lot.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Well, I'm thrilled. Stacy Miller says, hi, Cleo.
Hey, that's my niece.
Oh, is it really?
Yes, Stacy is my niece, and she has a beautiful daughter, Mackenzie. And Lawrence Darnell is a wonderful guy who he was the first guy who spoke. He's in a group called Love History Workshop where we travel the U.S. We usually do one city. We do Los Angeles every year. We do schools. We can do Girl Scouts, and we travel with a Black theater show for Black History Month.
Nice.
And we sing, and it's a theater production, and I produce it, and it's wonderful. It's truly wonderful. Another video that is really good that I was telling you about is called Let Him Run by Patrick Outlaw. And if you go to YouTube and look at Let Him Run, it's amazing. But Stacy's in St. Louis. So hi, Stacy and Mackenzie.
Let Him Run by who?
Patrick Outlaw. I met him at Cleo King's open mic. You guys were talking about that. Cleo King's open mic, we ran for 5 years in one place, and then we ran 2 years later because everybody, when I closed it, said, "Oh my God," because I went back to work. We were meeting every week, and I remember you guys came, and it's such a wonderful beginning for seasoned actors, for newcomers who want to do comedy, stand-up, everything. We did everything. And after closing it after 5 years, the people were just like, we've got to keep going, Cleo. So then I ran 2 more years. And so I did it for 7 years total. And it was,
really?
Yes, it was so much fun. So that's the time I was on Mike and Molly.
I know.
The best time.
Yeah.
Oh my God. They even did an episode about open mic. And then when we were going through the process of adopting our son, who is now 12 years old, they did an episode about adoption as well. So Mike and Molly was like life imitating art. So everything, you know, they did it about the open mic and they did it about adoption. So
That's so nice.
yeah. Yeah.
I would say hi to Ryan, my buddy Ryan here.
Ryan's a great actor in LA as well. And we're going to have him on one of these days. So
good.
So this is kind of our standard thing of how we start this now is we basically ask, where and when do you remember you got bitten by the entertainment bug?
Oh, you know what? Excuse me. I was in, I think it was in high school. I went on a field trip, you know, and I went to the theater. It was a field trip. The only thing before that I had seen was the Easter play at church. So I went to a play. We were on a field trip at school, and it was at the Loretto Hilton Theater in St. Louis. And we were all in our seats. I had never seen a play. And they asked everybody to be quiet, everybody to turn off their phones and all that stuff. And then the stage was empty. And then the lights went out and they went down and they stayed down for about 8-10 seconds. And then the lights came back up and there were like 10 people on stage. I was like, oh my God, this is magic. Oh shit. Oh shoot. I couldn't believe it. Like when the lights went down, nothing. We didn't hear anything, no move. And it came back up and it was like, I was like, oh my God, this is really something. I had never seen a live production. So that moved me. And I went to see The Wiz with Stephanie Mills. It was a touring show. I went to see that.
Oh, wow.
And just the play at church. And then, so when I got to college, I had no idea what I was going to major in. So the counselor said to me, what do you think you want to major in? I was a freshman. And I said, well, I don't know. She goes, well, I'm going to go down this entire list alphabetically. And when you hear something that you might want to major in, let me know. So she went all the way down. She got to the S's and I was still sitting there. So she said, speech and dramatic art. And I said, what's that? And she said, that's like acting and performing and, singing. And I said, oh, I'll do it. And she goes, no. Have you done a play before? I said, I did the Easter play at church. And she said, no. Did you act in high school? Did you do any performance? I said, no. She said, have you ever done any acting anywhere in community? I said, nope. I said, but that's what I want to major in. And that's how I got to theater.
Oh my God.
Remarkable. I mean, so many people are like, I was 2 years old and wanted. I love that you found it later.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing.
I was 18. I was too afraid to audition for anything my freshman year. My sophomore year at University of Missouri in Columbia, I auditioned for a play and I get the lead in the show. Never memorized any lines, never knew how to do any of it, never knew anything. Got the lead in it, To Be Young, Gifted in Black by Lorraine Hansberry.
Oh, yeah.
And when I hear that audience applaud at the end of that show, I was home. I knew, I was home. There was no doubt in my mind I was doing the right thing.
So then, Teresa, you asked the next about her, where she's going from there.
That's fine. That's fine. No, I'm just, when you were thinking, I remember when I was the kangaroo in Noah's Ark in second grade, and I was like, I was born to the stage. Like, that was my moment.
I thought it was Betsy Ross when you got the.
Betsy Ross, I did. I had one inappropriate line. I mean, I say inappropriate. I had to flirt with Benjamin Franklin. Gross.
Oh.
I was like 10 years old, and it was like Betsy Ross was like giving it up to Ben, like, come get me. And the audience, it was a funny line and the audience laughed. And I went, I want to make people laugh the rest of my life. It was like, that got me.
Nice.
But I'm so curious. So you majored in theater, so you were mostly stage. Like, at what point did you go from stage to screen? And at what point did you go from stage to LA?
Well, once I finished school, I went for 4.5 years. I left there and I moved to New York. My parents were furious because I had never even been to New York. And I told them either I have to go to New York or LA because I'm going to have a career. And they were just so upset. They said, you can't move somewhere you've never even visited. I said, well, I have to be there. So I knew I wasn't ready for TV and film because I love the gratification, that instant gratification of the audience. So I knew I wanted that. So right after I left school, 4.5 years, I took off and moved to New York. Had never been there in my.
Oh, we lost her. Oh, there we are.
Moved to New York. I bought a bus ticket and I ate along the way. And everybody kept saying, why aren't you flying to New York? I said, girl, I need to think. I got to think. So I spent that. I bought that bus ticket. I ate along the way. It took me 24 hours. I left St. Louis at 11 a.m. I got to New York at 11 a.m. And for me, the next day. And for me, I knew I was where I needed to be. And so I did my prayer and meditation thing. And I said, okay, God, okay, universe, I need you to let me know if I'm doing the right thing. Show me a sign. If this is what I'm supposed to be doing, this is all I need. And within 3 months, I booked a national tour. I booked the national tour of Big River. And so once I did that, I knew I was where I was supposed to be, what I was supposed to be doing. I was making $1,388 a week. And that's at 21 years old. 21 years
so
old.
much you know the exact number because that is so you. That's what I know of you and your money and how good you are with all that. I love that. I love Big River.
Years.
I
10
love
years.
Big River.
I stayed in New York. And then when I left New York, I was ready for TV and film. I had done extra work. I learned my stuff. And I used to be in the first top 8 to 10 women. If they were looking for my type, I would get that call. But after 10 years, I'm like, okay, I'm out of here. I'm going to LA. I go to LA, nervous now because I'm giving up the theater career. I mean, I'm singing. I got my, 16 bars down, baby. Can't nobody work with me in those 16 bars, honey. I'm ready. Hallelujah. So I go on to LA, honey. I move on to LA. I said, okay, universe, I'm giving up this career, this theater career, but I'm moving to, TV and film. This is where I really want to be. It took me 5 years because I was working in the theater. And I said, I just need one sign to know that this is the right thing. And in 3 months,
Shoot.
We keep losing her.
TV show. Can you hear me?
Hold on. Your camera popped out.
We've got a weird connection with you.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. Okay.
I'm waiting with bated breath for the.
I know. We don't have your picture, Cleo.
Can you hear me at all?
We can hear you.
Oh, but you can't get the cam. You know what happened? People are calling me.
Oh, those stinkers. I think
I'm
that
on my phone.
Are you on your phone? That's probably why.
Mackenzie said, let's call her. Stop calling, Mackenzie.
I know. Camera said, okay, here we go. Huh. It says I'm in the show. Everyone can see and hear me, but I guess not.
Really? Hold on. Let me try to remove you one more time. Okay, there we go. No. Wow. Cleo, why don't you try popping completely out and come back in?
Okay, will do.
Okay, great.
All
We
right.
have to see Cleo. This is the first time.
And we're getting there we go. We're getting responses. Wow, fabulous. Love listening to wonderful Cleo King. We do too, and we want to hear more.
So we're hoping she'll come back. So while we wait for Cleo, it's just we've got weird connections. There's something weird going on in the universe.
I know.
Is Mercury in retrograde?
I don't know. You were a little jibbery jabbery too.
I noticed you muted my mic.
I did because I thought that might help with hi everybody. So stand by. Ryan, what do any shows on Broadway or off Broadway? Oh, Kevin. Hi, Kevin. I think she did Dreamgirls on Broadway, but I'm not positive. Or we'll find out.
We'll find out. See, I'm singing again. I don't know what that's about. I don't know. My computer was making weird noises, remember, just before we started. So I think it could be my fault.
Well, we'll see what happens when she pops back.
That doesn't make any sense.
Ryan says he needs to know what happened after these 3 months.
I know, right? I'm like, you can't stop now. So maybe she's having problems too.
What?
I wonder if she said we have so much to talk to her about. I mean, what an amazing career! Like, can't you get a sense of her already? People,
yeah.
Who's watching?
Adore Cleo, such a gift. Yes, she is. Not there. She is. Here she comes.
Do you see her?
There we are.
Sorry about that, you guys.
Oh my gosh, your fan base and new fan base are just going crazy that you left because they're loving you.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Kevin asks, he says, did Cleo do any shows on Broadway or off Broadway in NYC?
Yes, I did off Broadway. I did My Name is Alice. My Name is Still Alice off Broadway.
Okay.
Yes, and then I toured. I always did the touring shows. Like if the show was on Broadway, I would tour in the national touring company or the bus and truck. So that's what I did. I actually never did a Broadway show. They did call me once to do it, but I was already touring with another show.
Nice.
Yeah. So I wanted to finish that story about LA.
Yeah, people need to hear it.
Yes, because when I got to LA and I got here, I said to the universe, okay, I'm ready for TV and film. Please let me know if this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Prayer and meditation. Please show me and let me know. And within the same 3 months that I booked that gig in New York, I booked a television show here in Los Angeles. Within 3 months, it was the Wayans Brothers TV show. Now, I'd only done one TV show. Yes.
I produced the main title for that TV show.
Wow. See,
That's
I had only done one TV show in New York. That was The Cosby Show. I had done one movie, which was with Will Smith, 6 Degrees of Separation.
Oh,
so
wow.
when I moved here, my resume was loaded with theater, singing and dancing. Like, I didn't even go to New York to sing. I went to act. But the acting was so few and far in between, I started singing, and then my resume filled up with singing. But then I booked the TV show, The Wayans Brothers, and so I could exhale and realize, oh my God, I'm doing the right thing.
Nice. Nice.
Yes.
So from there, I mean, you did commercials.
Yes.
You did a lot. You did a really fun, all of a sudden this commercial's coming to me, the one that was outside with a bunch of, in a neighborhood. I'm remembering.
Oh, yes. Yes, yes. It was an insurance commercial, right?
Is that what it was?
Where we were, Geico, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Geico insurance commercial. Yes. It was fun. We were singing and dancing in the streets.
Yeah.
It was great. It was great. I enjoyed that. My very first commercial was a Tums commercial. That was the first national commercial I ever booked, and it ran for 5 years. It messed me up because I thought all commercials run for 5 years, child. This is the life, honey. This is, woo! This is the life. I was like, yes, honey. Yes, universe. Sweet. Yes, yes. And honey, my next commercial, it may have run 6 months. And I was like, wait, what? Who, huh? What happened? But that Tums commercial, Tums has calcium, something your body needs anyway. So what do you have? Have the goulash, have the fries, have the cheesecake, and have Tums. Hi, you guys. We'll be right out. But more than anything, it ran for 5 years. And so my first commercial in LA, it was a Pizza Hut commercial, and it never ran at all. At all, it never ran. So, 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
So you have been a working actor. For anybody that's looking to go into this business that we're all in, right?
Yes.
And especially a working actor, because you do produce and you're a philanthropist and you have other causes, but you're primarily a working actor.
Yes.
What bit of advice, there's so much, but what could you say to anybody that's like on that vision of that's what they want to do?
Well, this is what I say. If it's your dream, go after it. Don't expect everybody else to see your dream. Don't expect everybody else to follow your dream. Don't expect anybody to be excited about your dream. It's your dream. Go get it. Go get it. I had a lot of people who told me, it's never going to happen, honey. Nobody in your family has ever been in show business. Nobody in your family has ever gone on to do anything like this. What do you mean you're going to go to New York? Even my parents were upset with me. They were like, what? You're going to go into real estate like your sisters. What? So for me, I can remember my last show in New York, right? I wanted to get in for this audition. It was Jelly's Last Jam.
Oh, I love that.
By George C. Wolfe. It was on Broadway.
Yeah.
I asked my agent to get me an audition. He said to me, I've been trying for a couple of weeks now, and they won't give me an appointment for you. I don't know what it is. And I said, well, I don't either. And by this time, my friends are getting callbacks. So I know the process is happening. So he couldn't get me in. So I found out when a friend was going on a callback, right? And so I said, I'm crashing this audition. So I called my agent and I said, his name was William Schill. He was the William Schill agency, Bill Schill. He said, do not go in there. If they wanted you in there, they would give you an appointment. Don't go in there and crash this audition. I said, I'm just letting you know I'm going. He said, don't do that. People can blacklist you and you will not get. I said, I'm going. I just want you to know, click up. So I hung up. I went in there that morning. Let's say the auditions was from 10 to 6. I got there at 9:30. The casting director said, oh, what are you doing here? Do you have an appointment? I said, I don't, but I'm willing to stay here all day. I have nothing to do. I just want George Wolfe to see me or somebody to see me. And she goes, it's not going to happen. You need to leave. If you don't have an appointment, leave. I said, okay, I'm sorry. So I turned around. Somebody else came in the door. I came in behind them. I sat down at the end of the corridor and I waited. And within 45 minutes, nobody was there. George Wolfe comes out and he goes, oh, I was going to the bathroom. You're next. Come on in. So I go in and I sing for the blood, honey. I sing for the blood. And George Wolf stands up and says, yes, that's what I'm talking about. Can you come to a callback? Yes. Okay.
Really?
Thank you. Thank you. I go to the callback. I get the job. I tour in that show for 14 months. I bring in those reviews all city. I played Miss Mamie, the gut bucket blues singer. I played that role, honey. I played that role. I do that tour. I tour with Savion Glover, Frida Payne, and Maurice Hines, honey, for 14 months. It was phenomenal. But I say all that to say that's a long way around the block, honey. But
I love this.
All that to say,
our friend Ryan said, "Go get it."
You have to go get it, and you can't be waiting for somebody else. And if somebody gives you something negative, just don't strap it to your back and take it in life with you. Go do what you need to do for you, honey. What did I have to lose? Nothing. I had nothing to lose. I didn't have the job anyway. So all I could do was get an opportunity to be seen by George Wolf. And I loved working with him those 3 months in rehearsal. Had the best time touring with him. It was so wonderful. Savion Glover turned 21 years old that year. I threw his birthday party. It was fabulous. All the women wore lingerie. We were fabulous, honey. But yeah, just follow your dream and get with people who are already doing it so they can teach you how to do it. To this day, if I don't know how, I get with people who are already doing it. So that's how I do it.
That's fantastic. Fantastic. Teresa, do you want to go ahead?
I was going to say the time's just flying. But then you got into a lot of really that's nice. Love it. We are taught to follow the rules, but we need to respectfully break them. Thank you for reminding me. And Ryan's, like Patrick said, a performer in his own right and trying to do his own thing and hustling to make things happen and doing his own production and performing. And so he certainly, those are good words. I know him. So I know those are good words for him right now.
Yay.
Talk about how you then go to, how did you get into this kind of rhythm of, you got Mike and Molly, you've got movies. You really are, like Patrick said, that working actor. So you come back to the show and you get into this movie.
I always knew I wanted to do it. I always knew I was worthy. I did my first series regular, 2003, The Brotherhood of Poland, New Hampshire, David E. Kelly. I was doing Ally McBeal with him in Boston Public, and then he wrote this role. And I was so ecstatic to be a series regular on The Brotherhood of Poland, New Hampshire, 2003. Sometimes we would go to these table reads, and coming from the theater, you're so nervous because they do things so differently. But what I had learned is if I show up and be myself and be my authentic self, it always worked for me. It always worked. No need to be nervous. An audition is simply an opportunity to show your talent. I have done table reads where 3 people were fired and then the rest of us had to go report to set. And then they're looking for new entertainers. So if you get nervous about being fired and all this stuff, we all knew those people weren't right. When they did the table read, we all said, oh my gosh, the deal is do your thing and show up the best you can, be prepared and do your thing. So I started doing television. I started loving it. Doing Mike and Molly and being exposed to so many different people. I did the movie Dreamgirls, working with Beyonce on set, working with, Jamie Foxx again. That was working with Jamie. That was the 3rd time I had worked with Jamie. Eddie Murphy. Jennifer Hudson. I remember working with her, and her mom had seen me on so many shows, and her mother was just so sweet to me and telling me the shows that she loved me on. And, and I met Jennifer and I thought, oh, she's a sweet girl. I can't even imagine if she can sing. She just doesn't look like she can sing to me, and then when she did the song, then she did it in one key, then they redid it again and she redid the whole scene again in another key. And when I saw it, I was like, well, honey, I'm glad they didn't use my judgment, because you can't look at nobody and tell if they can sing or not. This child won an Oscar, So
I love that kid. My judgment. You got some family here. Love hearing your stories. Our career cousin.
Oh, who's that?
That's Lauren Stevenson.
Oh yes, Lauren. He's an actor.
Oh, cool.
We're writing something together.
Oh my gosh, Alado San.
Oh,
Sam.
Yulato Sam. Oh, he's a wonderful actor. This young man. Oh my goodness. He also hosted Cleo King's open mic. He just got his master's degree at UCLA, talking about a Spitfire. He had an audition for an agent and they signed him on the spot.
Nice. Nice. Let's talk. Prudence is here too.
Yay, that's my girl. We're working on webisodes right now together. Prue is here.
Oh my gosh, Cleo, you've got so much going on. So with that, let's talk about what you have going on, and then let's talk a little bit about your causes. But let's talk about your upcoming. I'm currently on something on Netflix, and you have an upcoming Hoops.
You got it. My last series was on Netflix, Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events with Neil Patrick Harris. But then there's a movie on Netflix called Justine. I'm really proud of it. I play a social worker. But next month, I am a series regular on an animated series. Honey, it ain't nothing.
Animated? Oh, fun.
It's called Hoops, like basketball hoops. It's called Hoops, and I play Principal Opal. It is for adults. Do not let your children sit down and look at it because it's way too much. But that's coming up in August. We're doing a lot of press for that. And it is so exciting to have that going on. And then I'm here working on webisodes and things like that, which takes us to SLAM, you know, saving lives of African-American men, women, and children. Like, we started this, Dr. Sherry Randolph and I, because we just want to call attention to what's happening, you know, to what's happening in our country. Like when I did that show in Vancouver, it was amazing. When I would walk the streets in Vancouver, I would see no Black people whatsoever. But when I would go to work, there would be 26 Black people on set. I was blown away. Because here, everywhere you look, there are Black people everywhere. I go to work and there's one or two Black people. So somehow Canada is getting it right. And somehow the United States is still very prejudiced when it comes to hiring brown faces. Hollywood is not doing it right. And we've been quiet for so long. We've been PC for so long, want to be politically correct, don't say anything. But it's time to hire us, these brown faces, do what we do, and we can show up and do the job just like everybody else. So saving lives of African-American women, we're working on men, women, and children. SLAM, we're working on a documentary and we're doing some of the work right now and we're reviewing stories and looking at things. You know, we want to bring attention to what are the changes we need to do. And one of the changes that I say we need to do is, and it's a big one, it is to do jury duty. A lot of brown people don't do jury duty. They get out of it. We love to get out of it, but it's time to go do jury duty. And it's also time to spend your money in your community because a lot of people spend a lot of money everywhere else. Make your dollar strong, spend it in your community. You can spend it wherever you want, but make sure you spend some in your community. Because right now, only 30 cents a dollar is spent in our community. So spend it where you want, but let's do better at that. And then let's go do jury duty and let's help out each other. Let's support each other's business when we can. And then look at what you can do differently to help save lives because America is truly hurting right now with the racism and with the murders at the rate that we're being killed. It's very scary.
Yeah. You know, I was, one of the things as a white man is really to listen. Just to listen, you know, and to hear what's happening. And so I'm grateful that you're speaking to it because I really don't have a place to speak to it. I have a place to listen to it.
But it's also important to be aware and then to let people know your feelings around it, you know, because what we want is for somebody to mirror back that I heard what you said. You know what I mean? Because so many times when people, you know, I appreciate you don't try to jump in and try to say that you know the most about it. That I truly appreciate. But then I also want you to know, you know, whether you support me, whether you support that, you know, when people are killed for no reason, when they're just a traffic stop and they end up dead, that this only happens to us. They don't do it to other people. Yeah. It's so important to say, I recognize that and it's not okay. And we must do better. It's time to do better. That is what we can say. It's time to do better.
And in the entertainment industry, Cleo, it's fascinating what you just said about Vancouver to LA. Do you see the shift at all happening in LA in terms of hiring more brown people or?
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. You know, for me, one company, I just submitted a script that I wrote, right? And it was a script that I wrote with someone else. And they said they're looking for African-American writers, African-American producers, and African-American directors. They said that's what they're looking for on the project. So I submitted my project that I wrote. And in the project, I play a hooker. And yes,
that's what I was going to ask you about.
She's funny. She's very funny. And she is just this, you know, brazen woman who got there because she needed to pay her bills. She got fired. It went viral, yada, yada. So they said they're looking for those projects. So I submitted my project and they said to me, I don't think we should show this woman in this light. You know, it's 2020, show an African-American in this light. We're not comfortable. We think there's going to be backlash. We just don't want to do that. And to put her in that light is just not good for us. And this is a huge company. If I said the name, you'd be like, of course I know that studio. Oh my God, I can name you 10. Now, this same studio, they've done 75 films in the last 3 years, and only 3 films were done by African Americans. 3. Now, some of those won awards too. I won't say what. Then they said they didn't want to put me in that light. But let me tell you what Cleo King says now, because she's not afraid of being, you know, PC, politically correct. I'll tell you this. Now, they'll do a movie and I can be a slave, okay? I can be a housekeeper and I can be a maid. I could be a slave. They could repeatedly rape me. They could beat me. They could, my children, they could beat my children in the movie. My husband, they could beat him and kill him. And they're very comfortable with that. They're never afraid with the backlash that would happen with that. And then guess what? They're going to do that story over and over and over. And The Help, we could play a maid. We could play a housekeeper. I'm comfortable with that. But when you say a full figure Black woman as the lead in the movie, oh no. And she's calling her own shots as a hooker. Ooh, we don't want that. Yeah, but if she's a housekeeper, she can't use the toilet paper, right? Can't do. So you're comfortable doing what you want to do in the story you want to tell. How about that?
Yeah. So, you know, I love that because I know you, and it's some of the stuff that Teresa and I have done. We have gone and produced our own project in some way. You know, we have created web series. We have done that. So it's interesting you brought this subject out because it came to my mind when you talked about the web series. So I don't know if you're at liberty to say, but is that what you're working on or?
No, the web series is totally different. The web series that I'm working on, it's a show called Cleo's Cornbread Cafe. And it's about, I know, it's about a soul food restaurant, you know? Have you ever seen that soul food show? I forgot the name of it. But the lady cooks in St. Louis, Missouri. She has a soul food. What's it called? Do you know?
No, but I know the movie Soul Food. I thought that's what you know. I don't know this series.
Well, that's what it's called. It's called Cleo's Cornbread Cafe. So we're working on that, you know? Nice. So we're doing web series, and then people who have heard it said, oh my God, this is like a pilot, honey. I think you should. So we haven't, we're like wrestling. Hey, we don't know what to do, but we're mixing it up. We're mixing it.
You know, I love the, oh, look at Michelle. Michelle said, yes, tell them like it is. It is.
Hi, Michelle.
Yay. And
thank you for being here.
Lauren says, preach. And, Sweetie Pies. Somebody wrote
Sweetie Pies. That's
your
it.
niece.
That's all about the soul food. You got it. That's exactly right.
That's on OWN, isn't it? Isn't that on OWN? Okay.
And that's that. So Cleo's Cornbread Cafe is what I plan to do when I retire. I'm gonna move to Maui, and I'm gonna have Cleo's Cornbread Cafe, and you guys will know where to find me. Nice. I used to think I was gonna be like George Burns and work until I'm 100 years old. No, it's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. I'm gonna be in Maui cooking cornbread and talking to all the people with their indisposable income on vacation. That's where I'll be.
God. I love it. Well, I think that's a great note to leave this on. And just know, you know, it's so interesting. Recently, whenever we write a project, we're like, what can we get Cleo in? So we're always thinking about you in one of our projects.
Yay.
So, I know.
Thank you for having me today, you guys. What a fun place to be on a Wednesday. You know,
Yeah.
thank you.
Well, and you also did say that we invite people, if you have a charity you want to support, you talked about SLAM. You did encourage folks, if they're interested, to support Black Lives Matter.
Please.
That's certainly a place that needs your support right now.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Patrick put a link up here in the comments.
Yeah, I'm putting it in the chat.
Okay. So Cleo, thank you so much.
You're
Wonderful
welcome.
woman.
You're welcome.
I good luck with your continued quarantine, shelter at home. Good luck.
Thank you. You too.
And thank you for all that you do for entertainment and all that you do to better the world around you.
Thank you. I'm grateful.
Thank you, my friend.
Bye, you guys.
Bye. Wow.
Oh gosh, that boom, just like that. I know we lost her for a few minutes, but that time just went so fast.
I know.
Hey, thanks for joining us. We've got more great guests lined up for you in the weeks ahead. So stay tuned to Fubble Time on Fubble Entertainment. With that, we just need to say right now,
we got to get out of here.
we gotta go.